I've got to say my life here now happens to change when she enters my life. Not going back on that road of being myself providing I'm governed for the next stage that hasn't come to fruition and show stuff has happened and can't recall for her now. To explain my life has lost its place on my own free will and having no real man or roach man in me to get acknowledged by peers or family. My dad was the root cause. After he sent me back not for anything I didn't care to do to him? Punch him, square and bruised his eye. That's all in the past. All those years back I look at any glimpse of hope of gathering my emotions and feelings to get up to a real man that thinks about prosperous acts and why we enter others' comfort zone on occasions. Since I'm sure there's no resenting through it was my life and pitted on me with his attitude. Why was I at the wrong? No one has to think past anyone's mental judgment on it without acknowledgement. I'm my own half with me feelings of a place I can control on my own. A will to keep going. It all started when? The feelings of when I left and come back to drama. The hair my mom lost was to him ripping and with a knife sliced off. Was too traumatizing. I left to go to Adrian's house and not give any thought about what has happened. The real drama was first coming back from an uncle who never supervised me. I can't get him off and run to never witness any of it and stuff. The moral act of treason is staying and come back to a person who's fathered me all my life. Not a shroud of respect can get past him now. And when he did this following the years of moving out to Rosemead, I can come up without us that my father choked me in front of my 3 dear younger siblings as it meant I didn't finish high school. To stay and watchful to them grown up now as they'd matured. They shunned me and got whatever it was. His attitude is living with and how he has no attitude. And whence I came back to the same day in and day out. I carried a burden of never really satisfied by it. Through it all. Why I can't seem to ponder having invited true pals to my cabin and introduced. I come from their houses. He yelled at me and when I'd come home. In front of my dear grandparents. And I turned the other way. Who knows what age I'd matured and care about satisfaction about doing my own on my own. And why I can't seem to guess he hook up a heroin addict friend I had a job of his own. Not my other's longtime friend I knew before, after John Marshall High School. He gave me a wife that was my second cousin. When I already found out that was after my true love, Paulina, and I hung out at Trade Tech for 3 days. I felt so happy my love wrote back, before everything changed. I must assume she felt with problems of her own accord. Regarding a younger sibling she asked me I remembered. There was this open house for a Rosemead school. Who I saw there with my little brother, Davis, that nudged me. That's Paulina's sister. That must have told her. And again I regret she stopped talking for no reason. What I assumed she didn't care about me. Now, I think back to there I might just have to open myself up to come to her aid at whim, before responsible adults do now. And it's not on my life she never loved me to marry someone. And at that. Forgot about me till now. When I was 14 meeting that white gay guy from 7th grade to 8th grade. I feel like he was a tarnisher who I was with and I gave major props to him and not care at all about the outcome of my life together with him. And he was gay and creepy in the closet I now realized he was in when I found out from the subconscious he got out of his coma. And then I don't have any real feelings any longer, which at one point I am leisure to keep saying, I don't care. And when all is said and done, the real feelings is to whoever and I am, not even one to complain about stuff. It's just I am not really there to witness things he scoffed at. It was rebellion that I sought after, and to him I was a smooth talker at best and a fast trekker. I think without any remorse I stick to coming back when he was the reason I got sent back without 2 gay friends, Adam and Michael. I'm not anyone other than who I thought I was. And not the real player if people outside my circle saw otherwise. To who it may concern one day and I came back, not appreciating life to follow him, Michael, and not fall for him twice to come back to my current love affair, Paulina. Eventually, overcoming all odds from my time here on planet Earth. That's how I know he's not to be trusted, until now. I find that if I am the great Polly, who has worshippers and onlookers in the form of Jason Deng wanting girls, why, I'm just Polly, the same old Polly 4 generations, and I have with me fruit to bear. When I say this, I'm not any more important than the last guy and know who's the real culprit, and my dad using his attention span on it. They don't for any purpose of being a father. When I am not the follower or Adam is. When they taunt the real good one of us to think we had that many who didn't fall with the program of being all straight guys. I'm not in the moment to tell I've had my share of heartbreaks with someone demeaning and that stuff. The person I shelter under, whence I came back to trauma here and in Cambodia yet again, on and off. But this time it's a long time, 8 years perhaps. I can't sit still and recall since 2017. When I tried to talk, he discontinued our meeting and doesn't care for just to trick me. Michael. The meeting place of all this caused me to withdraw into a cowrie shell. And I'm not just cowrie snail or the person it tolerates to over anyone's else's drama. The fine line I cross seemed to me, I am not only a person governed by the subconscious to control. When I think up to the past, it haunts me. The moral of the story is keep your friends close and your enemies is even closer. I don't think that's the real issue. It all started when I'm not a person governed by willpower to tolerate it, to anyone's action on me, whilst I become who I am today. Why is it I come back to again and again after Michael's? And I didn't value my life as I am, a person that governs not only as an act of satisfying one's own demeanor, or the great gods up above can tell you that. I'm just a person governed only by self-sacrifice to meet ends day in and day out. Why am I playing the victim? You see, it all started. I've got sent back to my home country. And after it all, gained friends forcibly and as active treason. You'll find out about all acts of conduct as a guide to one's own reason. I'm addicted to the thrill of leaving everything behind us after doing my own on my own. I'm sure responsible other people do are those, and think about consequences enough. Why is it I'm not like the others? Stuff gets passed around and I'm just sacrilegious throughout? Am I the target of verbal insults long enough for people to care about me? I think I recall going back again and again to meet up with tarnishers and beg for their God-given duty to be at all at peace with myself. When I was 16? I am at the crew's main headquarters, not Donovan's house, but Adrian's, and got caught up with stuff till I left for Rosemead by the time I'm 19? The moral is I can't be bothered to switch over to go see the faggot in the closet, Michael again, creepy all-around person. Also, till I'm 20 I went to another friend's house, Donovan. In the year 2009. Till then I think I'm a senior and not take class so seriously, enough to not get dropped out but of high school. At 18 going on 21 and beyond, that was Michael who I sought after, to gain peers' acceptance throughout. I am a consciously aware bystander of my own demands. Why is it I can't come up with words to come up with enough and at the end meet Paulina while trying to get into community college? So I'm in college at 22 and here I am now 33 and spent 8 years. Since 2016 I was 25 and spent even longer to get back 10 years, till I am now. I'm not even home. When I was going to punk rock bands playing. I feel hovering. Michael tries to make me apart from gestures and made it on me to be the evil villain in his mind. When in reality no one wants to care about that guy. When we were there at his house I had a mental meltdown and punched him in the face repeatedly, and I saw he's not really true to who he was to do that. For whatever reason I can't seem to bring into light who he's trying desperately to be a straight guy. When was the last time I was 23? It was a miracle my dad wants to arrange a bride for me to marry and had my son found a path. The main reason I started out 4 years of marriage, if you count the third I was here. Makes in the present 13 years of no marriage now.